Amanda Francis.
Hello.
Hello. I am so excited to have you with me today. Um, I just want to give you a little bit of an introduction for
Okay.
all of our viewers out there. You guys, Amanda Francis, she doesn't play by the rules, y'all. She doesn't play by the rules. And she is here to drop some beautiful knowledge this evening on just what it means to like help you break through whatever is in your way to shift out of the bullshit to actually get into the flow, whether it's, running your business, making money, all of it. Amanda Francis is a self-made multimillionaire, digital course creator, and soulful business guru to the tens of thousands of women and followers who work for her. Like, I'm just so honored. Can't tell you. Like, I know I'm like freaking out. Like, wow, thank you so much for saying yes to be on Badass Manifestor podcast and go live with me on Facebook. Seriously.
Thank you for asking me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what made you say yes? I'm just so curious. Like,
No, I saw you geeking out on Insta story that I said yes. Okay, so let me remember because I do get a lot of podcast interview requests,
yeah.
like a lot, like a whole lot. And I was in the assistant inbox where the requests usually show up, and I don't remember why I was there. It was like late at night. I was just like looking for something, and I saw that the request was sitting there, and I opened it, and I think I just went to your Instagram. I mean, tell me, I think this is what I said to you whenever you were Insta storying about it, but I just went to your Instagram and I was like, oh, good engagement, good energy. Sounds good. I mean, because a lot of people that will ask you to be on their podcast are just starting. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that, but they're just starting with an energy of like, let's see how it goes. Maybe I won't really do anything with it. And that's not really worth my time, right? So if there's not a lot of followers and not a lot of engagement and not an energy that tells me they're running with this thing, then it wouldn't really be the best use of my time or the most useful way to like spend my energy, right? So anyway, there was good engagement, there was good energy. Energy doesn't lie. You know what I mean?
True.
Like
I do.
yeah, you know what someone's about pretty quickly. So it's just like, okay, this is someone actually doing the thing, actually promoting their work, and that will actually deliver this to human beings. Seems good.
Right. I mean,
So I replied myself in the middle of the night and was like, yeah, sure.
you were like, yeah, sure. Like, I woke up to that message and I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking cool. So cool.
Here
Thank
we
you.
are.
Here we are. Guys, it never hurts to ask. Like, that is like the theme too of like, put it, you won't get a yes if you don't ask. That's
But why don't I ask you the same thing? Like, why you? If someone said to you, why you? Like, why you for anything? Like, why you for learning from you? Why you for what you teach? Why you for listening to your podcast? Why you for being on your podcast? Like, you know why? Like,
yeah,
why? You
yeah.
tell me why.
No, you're right. It's the vibe. It's the vibe that you get. And the vibe that I get from you. I mean, I started this thing a year ago. 1 year ago,
Mhm.
I started
Mhm.
this thing. And one of the first, like January 1st, I was like, okay, I'm going all in. I'm doing it. One of the first things I bought before I did that was your holiday bundle.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that gave me, I shared that with you privately, but everyone should know, like that just gave me the confidence because what I love about you, and you have this in your bio, is like repetitive, unrealistic goal achiever.
Mhm. Yeah, time and time again.
Time and time again. And that's why it's like that energy of like, yes, that energy for sure. So
Yeah.
since you're on Badass Manifestor podcast and with me on Facebook, I can tell you all the reasons why you're a badass manifester.
Yeah.
Why would you say you're a badass manifester?
Oh, why am I a badass manifester? I think one of the biggest things is I don't give up very easily. Like the spiritual stuff and the energetic stuff and the practical stuff combined is kind of everything. So, like me doing the inner work of believing I can have it, doing like the vibrational work of like being in the frequency of it already being mine, but then not giving up no matter what, you know? For me, it's like, I feel like I've been saying this to clients lately. You know, say you're holding the vibration of a certain dollar amount like every day of the month, and it doesn't happen that month. To me, it's not a failure because you put it out there. You put it, you know, into the universe, into your vortex, into the ethers. You a million times, it's going to come back to you no matter what, right? It's been put out there and it will be reflected back eventually, no matter what. So when we get into this thing of like, unless we give up on ourselves, right? So when we get into this thing of like, it didn't work, it's like maybe it just doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. When we get to all of that stuff, I think we kind of like fraud ourselves
Mm,
of the opportunity to receive that was trying to make its way to us, but for whatever reason was taking a little bit more time. You know, like I think the universe works in the path of least resistance. And so I found in my business, as more funnels are set up, as more ways for people to pay me occur, like all of those things just make money coming in more easily. And sometimes, like my outer experience of like my business and my clients and my audience is catching up to my inner experience of like, you know, an 8-figure year, for example.
yes. Oh my God, that said so perfectly. And I think a lot of people struggle with that too, especially because there's so much out there now on strategy. And it's getting, for me, it feels like there's a lot of masculine energy going on with business. And you are,
Mhm.
oh, like I see you and you're always in your feminine energy. And I think
Thank
that's what,
you.
yeah. And I think that's what really, really makes my business work even more when I'm, in that energy of my femininity. And so with all the strategy happening, it's easy for people to see like their numbers of the launch that they want not come through and then be like,
Right.
yeah, this is done. Like this is a failure.
Right. And I think the reason I've hit so many crazy launch goals, like I stopped counting, but I've had like a couple dozen 6-figure launches. You know, my biggest launch ever was $700,000. And I'm planning to have a 7-figure launch, you know, like now in February. So, but I think the reason I hit so many launch goals that looked impossible is because I didn't ever give up. I mean, it would be the last day, the last 3 hours, the last 1 hour, the last 30 minutes would be after the cart had technically was supposed to close, but I left it open overnight while I went to bed. Like it would be those last moments when it would break through, come through, work out because I was so committed. I was so committed to the result. And since then, I did that for years. And since then, I've relaxed a lot. And I'm like, you know, I don't really care if this launch or that launch hits this number or that number because I know what I'm an energetic match for, period. And I know what's coming through this month. I know what's coming through this year. So I stopped being so tied to like proving things through launches and strategies and numbers, but stay very committed and dedicated to the overall experience of having money, if that makes sense. But
Mm.
what's interesting is like the things I've put my importance on and the things I've really focused on have been the areas that have grown. And as I've allowed myself like the freedom to like, well, what actually matters to you? Is it a X number dollar a launch every single time? Or is it just like the experience of overflow where you always have more than you know what to do with
I
as
love
far as
that.
money? You know, like the experience of overflow ladders a lot more. So I guess I love my launch process. I love my launch strategies. I love everything I've learned, you know, through running a business. Yeah, it's all great, but I'm most married to like my experience of my daily life being happy and joyful and floating. You know what I mean?
Totally. And that's what I get from you. And I messaged you one time and I was like, I am so like hooked into like getting it right and like making sure the strategy's right. And you're just having fun. And you wrote to me like, it is safe to have fun. And
What a safe to have fun.
it
Yeah.
is fucking safe to have fun. And so I guess like what part of your business do you feel most passionate? Like you said, I love my strategy. I love this. Like, what do you love most about what you do?
I just want to teach people about money. That's all I actually want to do at all. I feel like I'm on this mission to get money into the hands of good hearted women who are here to change the world, who have gifts to give, and who are just stuck around money because of their past experiences, their belief systems, what they've been taught, their mindset. There are a lot, like all the reasons. I believe that we're like changing the power dynamics of the universe as people like us have power and money based on what organizations we support, where we shop, what we buy, like all the things. So to me, it's like, yeah, I like making money and it's cool. But like if making money wasn't setting an example of what was possible, and if making money wasn't getting money into the hands of people like us, I don't think I don't think I would I don't think I'd be as interested in it as I am. You know what I mean?
I do. And it's also getting money, like you're saying, into the hands of people that are actually going to do the thing.
Yeah, do good shit in the world. Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake people make in manifesting money that you've
Oh, and manifesting money other than giving up too soon. My first would be
seen?
giving up too soon. You know, the
Amen.
whole quitting 5 minutes before the miracle thing. Um, I want to say sticking with it because, like, so I teach like this process in my money mentality makeover course, and I believe in my process so strongly. And sometimes I watch people like kind of struggle through learning how to work the process for like the first 6 weeks of the course or whatever. Like they'll struggle, but then it'll get faster and faster and quicker and quicker and quicker. And they won't be people who just manifested one time and then gave up. They'll be people who start to develop a relationship of giving and receiving with money, a relationship where they know what to expect from money and money knows what to expect from them, is the best way I could say it. It feels like a relationship with money, right? And as you become more and more intimate with money, just like with a partner, how are you going to maintain a relationship with a partner if you're not intimate with a partner? So as you have intimacy and communication with and an understanding with money, and as that's part of your life, it gets easier and easier and more flowy and more smooth and more joyful and more fun. And people like just give up before they get to the good part, you know?
Yes, so true. And that's been my experience. Like that has been my experience in starting my business and, getting in that flow of money and making it a relationship and committing to that relationship. So
Hmm.
fucking good, so good. So I want to know, like, how do you bring so much feminine energy into your multi-million dollar business? Like you have a huge business and you do it seemingly effortlessly.
Well, it helps that I'm a girl.
Well,
So, okay.
that's true. I think there's a lot of women out there that struggle with like hustle, hustle, hustle.
So for me, okay. So a few years ago, I was like learning more about feminine energy and what it meant and how to be in it more. And it was like in regards to wanting a relationship, right? So I just felt like I was doing it wrong and I didn't get feminine energy and I must be showing it masculine. And I was telling myself all these stories. And I remember one day it occurred to me, hey, Amanda, you're a woman. Like feminine energy is a natural extension and expression of you being your deepest self. Like we all have masculine and feminine in us. But I think we get to flow between all the parts of us, not just the
Yeah.
masculine and feminine parts of us, but all the aspects of our personality, right? So when I stopped trying to be feminine and allowed myself to be myself, there was a lot more femininity than I realized. That was one thing.
Mm.
And then another thing was as I developed a lot more trust in myself, trust in the universe, trust in my own ability, trust in my processes and procedures and systems I had been creating, the more trust, because feminine energy, probably the easiest way to explain it, or one of the easiest way for me to understand it, is like the energy of like leaning back and relaxing, right? So as I trusted and relaxed into my business and realized like nothing really ever falls apart. Like early in our businesses, we always think things can fall apart. Like your first virtual assistant sends an email out with the wrong subject line and it's like apocalypse now. You know what I mean? Like we just feel like it could all fall apart. And when you realize that everything is fixable, the whole universe wants to support you. The people who work for you want to support you. Like
Yes.
literally, support is trying to come in all the time, and money is trying to come in all the time, I believe. So if support's always trying to come at me and it's always available, and money's always trying to come at me and it's always available, I just gotta let people help me, and I gotta let life help me, and I gotta lean back and relax more. So that looks different ways on different days. Like today, for example, the pre-sale for Money Mentality Makeover starts today, and we're launching it on a whole new system, a whole new email provider, like new everything, which is scary. And I don't
Yeah.
like it very much. So I had to, redo autoresponders. I had to redo like the email that announces the course. I had to redo the welcome page. So like just a lot of stuff that like, it was almost like starting a business all over again, except
Wow.
a lot faster because I've done this for a long time. Anyway, so the beautiful experience I had today was like I was tempted to rewrite the sales page last night at midnight, and I was like, no, I'm going to go to sleep. And I woke up and I slept probably I think nearly 8 hours, and I woke up, I did a little work. I was like, and when I started to get into that masculine or frantic or chaotic or any kind of
Yes.
place that felt forceful or not good, I got up, I went downstairs, I made a pot of tea, I poured the tea. My friend who's staying with me while she's in between apartments, I poured her a cup of tea. I brought her tea. I came back in here. I got back in the fucking zone. I did my thing. A couple hours went by. I was like, I'm fucking hungry. I went downstairs. I made breakfast. I just kept breaking up my day into receiving and relaxing and enjoying, though I was enjoying all of the work. And the work is a lot of me like channeling information, and that feels really good too. It's still just really dedicated and focused, and it's a certain kind of vibe. And if I stay in that all day without breaks for tea or beach walks or breakfast or whatever, if I stay in that all day, I am so tired by the end of the day. I don't like the person I am.
Mm.
I'm late for things. I'm canceling things. Like I have a dinner planned in like an hour. I guarantee if I would have gotten into frantic shit all day, I would have been coming on to this right now, frantic with no makeup, which would have been okay, but it just would have been different. And I would have been trying to cancel that dinner. You know what I mean? But like,
It
I
makes
don't know. I trusted and
sense.
received and flowed all day, and then I had enough space for everything.
It makes perfect sense. Like you were giving back to yourself and you were receiving at the same time. Like you were giving to your work and then you were receiving by giving back to yourself. Like that is flow. And
That is flow. And let me say to the business owners, I don't know if everyone struggles with this or I'm just the only crazy person, but I had the hardest time learning to trust a team, to just let the people I had hired do their job. So every time someone on my team wouldn't get something, I'd be like, they still don't get it. And I would send them a frantic audio and I'd start fixing it myself in the middle of the night or whatever. And now I just try to remember they want to support me, they want to help me. Clearly communicate with them, ask them what's going on, see what they interpreted they're supposed to do, see if they can fix it, whatever. No one is dying.
I
Like
feel like
I had
that's
to,
so important. Yeah, keep going, keep going.
but I just had to receive support from the people that I was paying them to support me. And then I was acting crazy all the time. I was literally acting crazy all the time.
I know for a fact that you're not alone. And if you're watching this on Facebook, let us know because I know that that's you most likely on Facebook because I know people struggle with that, including myself. Trusting the process, trusting your people, especially if you're paying them.
It's so true. And like it goes, I mean, I just watch it in women all day long. It goes to your partners, to your friends. I mean, the chances are your husband wants to support you or your partner, whoever. Chances are you've made him feel like he's not good at supporting you. And now he shies away from it more than he would have naturally. I mean, I think support is always available. And I think we're actively pushing it away, rejecting it, and making it hard to come in.
And I think that has to do with money too. It's like people can be supported sometimes in their work more than their relationships, or they can be supported in their relationships, but they're not supported financially. You
Well,
know?
they just don't believe that support that they get to have it all and that support is available in all the areas. Like
Exactly.
resources, support, overflow, more than enough is available in every area. But we all have funny stories about why we can't have it in this area or that area based on something we saw or heard or believed or whatever.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a question. When you're like, at the last hour of your launch, when it looks like it's not working out or it looks like it
Yeah.
might not come through, energetically, like what do you do any like weird woo-woo manifesting that like no one knows about?
No. I mean, not really. Like I wish I was like, well, I have a spell book and a crystal ball, and I go out into the ocean with the moon with my Palo Santo and 12 crystals. No, what I actually do is open up my journal and I dig into why don't I believe this can work? What bad thing do I think will happen if it does work? I was talking to a client yesterday who is going off the grid for like 11 days and her team is launching something without her and this is a really big deal for her And she started telling me, she's like, but I don't even know if I want to receive. Well, I got to the point where I was like, why do I feel like you don't want to receive while you're traveling? And she's like, well, I feel like I don't want to receive while I'm traveling because it's so much effort and energy. And I was like, how is it effort and energy to let people pay you while you're like in New Zealand off the grid? And she had this whole story around like, I have to give so much every time they sign up. And it wasn't actually true. The emails was automated. The course was ready to go. There was not actually anything to give. But energetically, she had been giving so much forceful effort to believe that they would want to sign up, and so much forceful effort to make sure she was welcoming them and acknowledging them. And of course, we want to welcome and acknowledge the people who are new to our offers, but it came this story where she didn't want to get paid because it felt like so much energy. And I'm like, no, like getting paid is the easiest, freest, most flowy thing in the world. And you set up your systems to support you, and you set up your team to support your people, and you support your people. And so anyway, my point of all that being, if there's any reason you don't want it, any reason you believe something bad will happen, or that energy will have to go, or effort will have to go, or you have to do something you don't want to do, those are the things that stop us from earning a lot in our businesses, you know?
Yes, 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 yes.
So I get out my journal, I look at all the reasons, I disapprove them all, I rewrite them, and I get into a state where I want the money to fucking come in, and then I feel the feelings of it coming like it's already occurred. And I vibe with that. And then I believe in inspired action. So maybe I'll be led to do another live stream or send out a certain kind of email or something. But like, I feel like the guidance always has to come if you're a match for the thing you want.
How do you make yourself the match? Like, how do you get into the state of feeling the feeling as if it's already happened?
Yeah. So I'm like a thoughts person. I'm like a brain person. I'm like very like brainy and heady. So visualization has never done it for me. For me, like I can visualize having something, and it's just like I see a picture and it doesn't mean anything. But if I think thoughts, then I feel the feeling. So if I intentionally think to myself or say to myself, like, holy shit, it's working, everyone's signing up, this is the best launch ever, the money is coming in, and this person signed up, this person signed up, this person signed up, this person signed up, this is the like most fun, flowing, natural thing I've ever experienced. To me, saying those words gets me into the feeling, and then I feel it. I feel myself vibrating at it. And when you practice that, you see how easy it is to actually change your energetic state.
Beautiful. And I think that's such an amazing point for everyone listening who's like, you know, some people struggle with that. They can't get into that feeling as if they already received something because they don't know the right thoughts to think. So it's like those thoughts, just you saying that, like, it feels exciting. It's like super exciting. You're excited before it happens because it already happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Think thoughts, say words, dance around. If it were to really happen in real life, would you start running around your house and dancing? Well, maybe you should go do that right now as though it already happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or maybe you should visualize yourself doing that if visualization works for you or whatever. But whatever will help you feel it is really the answer. But you're allowed to be silly and ridiculous while you're figuring that out. When I had first set my intention for my first 5-figure month, a $10,000 month, I guess that was like 5 years ago now. I remember going into a Starbucks bathroom, shutting myself in the bathroom and dancing like I had just received it. I don't know fucking why, because I was just trying to figure out how to feel it, you know what I mean? Yes. And things like that. But now I can just feel it in a moment. I can just, in a moment, feel the vibration of receiving money. And it's amazing. But like, I don't know.
It's a muscle that you have to build. Yeah, totally. You're obviously a master at that. So you were like, money is the easiest thing to receive. So let's riff on money a little bit. And then I have another question. And then we'll wrap. Let's tell me all the money things.
What do you want me to say about money?
So for someone who is struggling, like for someone who is, let's just say for someone who really wants to invest in themselves, but they are so afraid to invest in themselves, what would you tell that person?
So they want to like buy a course or hire a coach kind of a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing for me is, well, I'm going to say two things. One, do it with intention. Do it on purpose. Do it as a declaration. Do it knowing what it gets to mean for you. Like, I am signing up for this thing, and here are the things I do declare will be different in my life from this point forward, right?
That's because bold, you guys. That is.
And yeah, so do it intentionally, because the coach really can't do it for you. The course really can't do it for you. but you can do it for you, and you can do it through something, and you can do it with something, right? So anything that you do with intention and on purpose with energy is going to have a whole lot of power. You could go watch or listen to the best course or hire the best coach in the world, and the entire time you're listening to it or working with them, you're just going, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. You know what I mean? And it's not
Yes.
going to fucking work, right? So whatever you do for real, do with energy, do with decision, do with intention. The other thing I would say is I've hired a couple coaches / invested in a couple things that I didn't watch, that I didn't like, that I didn't get past the first module on, or coaches who I didn't end up really like resonating with, whatever. The thing I believe, and this just, I just think this is a belief system that really works for me. I think it all contributes. I think it all adds up. I think you get into a course and the course isn't right for you, but something that you read in the Facebook group clicks one day, right? Or you work with a coach and the coach really isn't far enough along to carry you very far, but that first session, she helped you clean up 3 things in your business that changed the game. Like, I just always think it's enough. It is what it's meant to be, and I'll run with all of it. And I'm ultimately responsible for my life and my experience and my money anyway. So I'm going to show up to a thing. I'm going to get what I get out of it, and I'm going to go with it. And it just ain't no thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's easy for me to say now, but I was acting this way before it was easy for me to say. I was acting this way when it was, putting a coach on a credit card kind of a vibe, you know?
Totally. And I think that that's
Yeah.
important to share too. It's like, you know, where you are now is not where you've always been.
No, no,
And
no. I was writing an email for the course relaunching today, and I was like, how do I explain to them that I know what it's like? And I was like, I drove a beat up car I couldn't afford to fix. I lived in an apartment I was afraid to go to sleep in the ghetto. I lived on student loans. I shared bathwater with my siblings. Like, I was just trying to go through. I had more debt than I know what to do with. I didn't know how to get out of. I was like, I've fucking been there.
yeah, totally. So when you first started, what was like one of the first courses that you took? Do you remember?
Yeah, took and finished and completed and can speak highly
Okay.
about right now.
Course that you took that like elevated you to the next level.
I'm trying to think of things I can talk positively about. Um, hmm. I don't really think I have one. I don't think I have one. Yeah, that would be no.
But
How about what?
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we could do like book or moment or teacher or
Yeah,
I mean,
teacher.
yeah, I have a good story. I feel like I tell this story kind of a lot. People have probably heard different parts of this story over the years. But I was reflecting on it yesterday. I don't know why it came into my awareness yesterday. I was thinking about the moments that change everything. The moments that change everything for you. The moments where, like, energetically, it's almost like you time hop. Like you were on one trajectory for your life and you jumped to like a different
Yes.
trajectory for life is how it's going to go
So
for you.
good.
And I was thinking about that. So I was in grad school. My business was probably like a year and a half old. It was very new. I had a couple clients. I very much didn't know what I was doing. So I'm in grad school. I'm nannying. I'm cocktail serving. I'm like doing all the things. I'm living on student loans, like all of it. And I remember being at my parents' house for Christmas break, and I was just like fucking sick of some things. I was sick of how I felt about my life, mostly sick of feeling like I wasn't making the difference I was here to make, right?
Yes.
Like I had actually at that time, like I had enough money. Student loans were paying for school. My jobs were supporting me and living like a decent life. Nothing was really wrong, but the impact felt so like stifled. And I remember just writing this list of like what I wanted, the kind of clients I wanted, how many I wanted, where I wanted to travel that year, what kind of people I wanted to know. Like I was just like riffing, but I was riffing from such an intentional, on purpose, no, God, you and me are doing it differently now kind of moment.
Yes.
I wish I could find that paper. I'm sure it's in one of my storage units somewhere, and we'll see it someday. I'll put it on the internet. But anyway, that was like maybe a couple days after Christmas or something. And I went home, or I went to Dallas where I was living at the time, and I picked up the little girl I was nannying at the time. And we went to Barnes and Noble, and we were running around Barnes and Noble. And like, you know, I don't even know how to, angels must have been speaking to me or something, because I'm walking around Barnes and Noble and the word miracles is on my mind. I'm like, miracles, miracles, miracles. Like, I'm like, why am I saying the word miracle? Like, what am I talking
Because you were
about?
channeling.
Yeah, I didn't know what channeling was. Like, I
Yeah.
had been a spiritual person forever, but this was a different like approach to spirituality, right? Anyway, so I'm walking around and I see the fucking Course in Miracles. I had no idea what that book even was. I'm like, oh, what is this huge blue book? And I pick up the fucking book and I'm sitting there holding it and I see Gabby Bernstein on Spirit Junkie back when there was the hardcover edition of the book. And you can see her wearing Louboutins, which I don't think is her style or her vibe at this point of time, but she was like in her late 20s then. She's wearing Louboutins and she's wearing a sparkly dress, and the title is the tagline or the subtitle is something about miracles. And I'm like, who's this girl talking about miracles wearing Louboutins? And I picked that book up, and I didn't know anyone working as a life coach. I didn't know anyone with a career in personal development. I didn't know anyone doing the things that I was trying to do. I was just like making it the fuck up as I went, you know?
Yes.
And I've told this story before, but I like read a chapter and put the book down and left and went back to Barnes and Noble 4 times that week to read another chapter before I committed to buying it, because I was like, I was feeling that something was in this book that I needed, right? And very much something was in the book that I needed. The book just like kind of, it took like my religious background and my belief system with God and the fact that I wanted to change the world, and it like integrated it all up for me in that moment, you know? And you can't reduce that down to one book, because I've had plenty of clients and friends say like, oh, that book really wasn't for me or whatever. And it's not ever about the certain book or the certain course. It's always about the you being led to the thing you were asking for right then. You know what I mean? The
Yes.
thing that would divinely support you at that time. And that's not something we can orchestrate very well on our own. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. And that's so awesome that you like, did you know that at the time though, that you were being guided to that in the moment? Because I was just having this conversation and
No,
I think
I
those
was
are
like, why do
hindsight
I keep
moments.
driving back to Barnes and Noble and picking up this book?
You're like, what the heck?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, and then it's all always beautiful and full circle, right? Like I read the
yeah.
book. Like maybe a month later, I was in New York for something else, and Gabby was speaking like 1 hour after I landed. And I went and saw her in person, and I read more books, and I did Spirit Junkie Masterclass, and now I sell Spirit Junkie Masterclass, and I'm the top affiliate. Like I could not have known that like 5 years ago or whatever. Like there's no way we could have connected those dots. I just knew that something was making me pick up the book. And so when I see people jumping, I've said this before, but when I see people jumping in and out of my shopping cart, like they're about to purchase and they don't purchase and they're about to purchase and they don't purchase, and I'm imagining they're reading the emails over and over. They're like, why am I reading this email again? And they're watching the YouTube video, like, why am I still looking at this crazy Amanda girl? Like, who does she think she is? I just imagine that it's a similar vibe. They sense their life is about to change. They're scared to death. They don't know what it is. And I
Yes.
kind of get it.
And that like reading those chapters changed the trajectory of your life.
Of my entire life, I can say for sure.
And like when we started, you know, messaging about this podcast interview, we had to change the date a couple times, and I was like so nervous to ask you to like stream this live on Facebook. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. So I did, and I was remembering when you and Gabby had your, you know, chat together that
Right.
I was tuned into, and I was like, I feel like that's happening to me. So
We're all manifesting all the time in such
yes,
interesting ways. Like it would have been weird, I think, if back when I was reading that book, I think it would have been weird to put like a fixation on someday I'll interview Gabby or something. That would have probably been like energetically like not the cleanest vibe. I just lived my life, did my thing, attracted cool shit. I have 2 people in my mastermind right now who I just went to Paris and Prague and Europe with, and they're my friends. But like it started out that they just they bought the Drop the Motherfucking Money Struggle bundle. They had incredible results. One of the girls ended up coming to my Bali retreat. Then she joined the mastermind, and the other girl joined the mastermind. And then these things happen, and then we're all in Europe together. Like you can't plan that shit. But I was in their vibration. I was in their awareness. and energetically it lined up when it lined up. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And like, I love what you said earlier, like you get the right pages of the book exactly when you need them. And that book is a metaphor for all of it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you meet the right people when you need them, your energy, you know, it
If
upgrades.
you're open and you believe that and you're receptive, then 100%.
Yeah. So y'all stop cock blocking the universe and just like
Totally. Totally.
you know, just like get in your own rhythm. Like I always say to my clients and to my listeners is like, you guys just consider that right now, all of your dreams are coming true right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm feeling the feelings of all my dreams coming true right now. I'm with you. It's so
Yes.
good. It's such a good vibration.
I know. So good. Amazing. So, question for you. You know how in manifesting, people are always talking about, and I teach and you teach, is like, you know, embodying, acting as if you are that 6-figure or 7-figure version of yourself.
Yeah.
And that like place of being. What does the next level of Amanda Frances embody?
Oh, girl.
Oh, girl.
It's wild.
Like you have that. You've manifested that. Like, is it just living your life?
No, it's crazy. It's sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around how to say words about it. So it's been amazing to master the online business thing. I'm proud of it. It's amazing. I tripled the company every year for several years, doubled it last year. I mean, it's cool. So it's really weird for me to realize that there's a future version of me where the online business is such a small portion of my existence. Like it
I just
feels
got the
like,
chills.
yeah, it's such a small portion of my existence. And when that vision started coming through, I was like, what are you talking about, universe? My business is the most important thing there ever was. But it just is such a small part of what I'm here to do. So I don't know. I'm entertaining different things right now, like conversations about shows, um, about if I do books, like how I want them to be. I don't know. I'm like, I envision massive expansion where it's
Yeah.
not really about digital courses, though my digital courses will probably always be something I love and I'm obsessed with. But I think it's just going to be about so much more. Like I was running around Dallas saying I own a multi-million dollar brand when I had no money. So I feel a little bit crazy right now. And I actually remember being on the vision board party that me and Andrea Crowder used to do every year, and me like looking at the camera and saying, I am a multi-million dollar brand when I very much wasn't. So I guess I just have to own the fact that right now I want to say I'm like a global brand. I'm like a global thought leader on financial empowerment for women, and that's just how
Mm,
it was always meant to be.
amazing. So
Yeah.
amazing. And I think it's such a great testament to, you know, every next level of yourself, there's going to be another level. I mean, look at, you know, multiple 7-figure earner, and there's multiple levels. And
Yeah. There's always so much more, and it's so weird.
it's right. Expansion never ends.
No, yeah, totally.
Is there something that you wish you knew about your business before you started or like in the beginning of your business, like something that you wish you could have known back then?
Yeah, I think if I could have just told myself, but then I'm glad that I couldn't because, it
Yeah.
all occurs the way it occurs and it ends up being the way it's meant to be. But I wish I could go back and just be like, Amanda, you have what it takes. All the different components and parts of your life are adding up together to create something beautiful that will be so unique to you because it will be done your way. And I think that's true for all of us. We all whatever it is that's in our history, we all combine our belief systems, our experiences, our lessons, what we're good at, what we know, what we don't know. Like we get to combine it all to create this beautiful life. And it would have been really cool if I could have seen how it was all adding up in my favor and for my good, but I couldn't see it at all. I just felt like a crazy person putting myself out there online. I felt completely nuts every day. But I did believe that it was all for my good and in my favor as I was doing it. And I just ran with it, ran with it, ran with it.
Yes. And like feeling nuts every day, I feel like you are so, obviously you're not alone. I know a lot of people in my audience right now are at that point where they want to go for it. They want to put themselves out there. They want to be authentic. And something that I appreciate about you so much is you are unapologetic. Like I mean, I was on that live stream where you were eating your burger in your bed. Like hello, like what? And I'm just
That's still one of my favorite things I've ever
I
done.
need to like eat a burger and go live. Like, no, that's your thing. But
I mean, you can do it, whatever.
as a woman who is on the brink, but like judgment's holding her back, or fear is holding her back, or perfectionism, like what would you say to her?
It's okay to be polarizing. It's okay to say the wrong thing. It's okay to say the wrong thing with the right intention. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to get it wrong. It's okay to get it right. You actually can't fuck it up anyway. So, like, if you could fuck it up, I would have. You know what I mean? I've offended way more people than I meant to, in the good way where they were being triggered and it was probably expansive, and in the bad way where I wish I wouldn't have said it that way. You know what I mean? Like, and it's all okay. It's all okay. You're a human being. So I don't know. I think one of the things that I do really well is I say whatever's firing me up at the moment. I say what is ever actually on my heart, but it's not just it's never just emoting, and it's never just negative. I riff on it with the intention to inspire and empower. So
Mm.
there's always the intention to help people see things differently. So I'm not afraid to say the thing that will make people really mad, but I think the place I do it from is very clean. Does that make sense?
Yes, 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 yes. Always leading with the right intention. And then you can't go
But
wrong.
make people mad. It's okay. Like, make them mad. Say the thing that's gonna piss them off. Own it. Have fun. People. Okay. So this, I wouldn't have said this very early on, but I'll say it now. People will love to love you. They will love to hate you. But if you're doing things on the internet, interwebs, or in the world, they won't be able to stop watching you. You know what I mean? And if we want, I'm just talking about fame for a minute. If you're like me and you want to be famous, not just an online influencer, but fucking famous, then you have fans. And some fans are nice, and some fans are assholes, and some fans comment crazy things on your Instagram. So own it all, rise above it all, position yourself at the top, and have fun.
Yes, 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 yes. Rise above it all. And that's the name of your podcast, basically. Rise the F up, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
She
What is it called? And she rises
and she rises, yes.
the fuck up. Yeah,
The
the
fuck up.
subheader is the fuck up.
Of course, in true Amanda Frances fashion, and the fuck up.
We had to say fuck somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
of course,
podcast
of course.
title. Yeah.
Any last words that you would like to leave with people, knowing that, everyone's on their journey? They're on the journey of manifesting their life. If they're watching this, they know what that means. What do you want to tell them? What do you want to leave? Drop one more drop of wisdom.
I mean, I think the ultimate message for me always is that you're good enough. You're
Yes.
good enough. You're good enough. Like, who you are, your desires and your thoughts and your beliefs and your longings and your message, and like, it's good enough. You are enough. And you were meant to take who you are and share it with humanity. So when you stop judging yourself and beating yourself up for things and making yourself wrong for things, and you own it all, whether it's like me and you're like late all the time and there's misspellings in every email you send, or no matter what it is, you're enough, and you can release your past, and you can own your present, and you can create your future, and you can just do the damn thing. You are powerful, you are capable, and the opportunities for your abundance are completely unlimited.
I just took that in. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're such a clear channel. And for those of you who are wondering what channeling is, it's really just opening yourself up to receive information that is you and greater than you. Would you agree?
Yeah, basically, I like that definition. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Okay. What do you want people to know about you? Where can they find you? Share.
Yes. Okay. So I'm XO Amanda Frances on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the social media. So FRANCES. And like I've mentioned, Money Mentality Makeover is relaunching, and I'm running a special pre-sale price for the next 6 days. So if anyone thinks that they might maybe want to have access to the pre-sale price, where I'm giving $300 off, you can go to amandafrancis.com/money-wait-list. And I give you a ton of free money manifesting resources, whether you end up using the special price or not is irrelevant.
Awesome.
So you can go grab those money manifesting resources now, and you can follow me on the social medias.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda. You are amazing, beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye, Facebook. I'm sorry we didn't look at your comments, but we will look at them later.
Yeah, I'll go on and look at them. We'll look at them later.
Yes.